Hello everybody, welcome back to one of my M-Wall reviews. I guess I'll turn this, I had left a comment on, when I give the end of my videos, I'll leave something about what's coming up next, and I said either a shorter review. It's going to be hard to not make this a review, though many of you guys have seen these characters before. This is the review of the Dinobot Sludge, and I have two versions here. One is from Gigapower on the right. The other one is Fanstoys on the left. And this is the Dinobot Sludge. Not too bright, not too fast, but he's definitely had an impact. I have Astro Train Fanstoys Thomas right next to him. Kind of gives you a little bit of a scale, you know, there, how, you know, Thomas to me is next to Motor Master for Fanstoys is the best team center. I mean, team center, I'm sorry. I've been working too much this weekend. I'm saying stuff from work. It's the best triple changing, but yet just to me, one of the best masterpiece transformers, period. This guy totally turns into something else when he transforms. But this, of course, this video is not what it's about. It's kind of a scale thing I'm putting here right now, temporarily. But the main part of the video is about these two masterpieces, the Dinobots that stand before you. Sludge, to me, is a great, I don't know, he's kind of a great example of dumb but fearless. I mean, he really didn't have any kind of fear whatsoever. He would take on anybody that's there and have an impact. I think even one episode he knocked over Galvatron himself, having sent him into a rock. So, you know, Sludge was one of the strongest Autobots as well as Dinobots. He doesn't have the brain power to try to take over nothing. He just followed Grimlock and the rest to whatever avail. But right here, we're going to take a good look at them. A good feel of these. It's kind of a comparison vid, one of my comparison yet review vids. I do everything in conjunction. I don't have no particular order sometimes in my videos. So let's take a look at the look, and then we'll do the feel, and then we'll do, I'm not going to get into pricing, more than likely, just the mechanics of these figures. Let's start off by just going there. So just judging by the look of Sludge on the Fanstoys version. I forgot the Fanstoys name for him and the Gigapower name for him. I know there's the name of one of them is Grassor and some other ones, but I don't have their names. I'll probably pop both of their names on the screen since I'm at a loss for them right now. But to start off by saying I'm kind of talking about these two in unison. These are magnificent toys. They both are a little bit unique in their transformation, but just going by the look of them, since we're on that part right now, I was actually surprised that the Fanstoys, being the older one, still holds up to this guy, the Gigapower ones, because the Gigapower is a little bigger. But to be honest with you, the Gigapower one is bigger, but it's not as big as I thought it was going to be before I bought this one. I always wanted the Fanstoy version. When I saw it years ago, I just could never get a hold of one until they finally reissued them this past year. I mean, they're either too much, it was a little crazy, overpriced, or I just couldn't get a hold of them. But when I first saw them, I fell in love. I said, this guy has the chrome and the gold and everything just set right. And I said, oh, that'd be a cool one to have in my collection. A great representation of the scene, the G1 version of Dinobot Sludge. And I think all the Fanstoys versions, well, most, settle that issue with their G1 counterparts. They look the best. And that's really what I go for. Some people like the little upgraded bits of them, even though I think the Gigapower ones, they're more fancy design, but they really are not so far off from the G1 toy, but they are a little more fancy, and they're just a sight to behold. They're big, they're powerful, and they have everything, all the ingredients there for what you want, what you would expect in the Dinobots. I think when it came to this one, and I'll tell you about my thoughts about him, these two in particular later, what I really feel about them as a whole in comparison. But as far as the look of them, it goes without really saying these guys look great. When I feel them, when I think about weight, I can't tell a difference really in weight. You would think this one being bigger is the weightier one. Really, honestly, this time I can't tell. I can't tell which one has the more weight. I'm almost giving it to the Fanstoys, honestly. You know, it's just something about the Fanstoys and their designs that just feels more complete. It feels more. It feels more well built for some reason. And this is a tough decide. I've seen other people do reviews on this guy, and I've seen them really have a hard time deciding between these particular two, which one is better. Now, to me, just to throw a little quickie spoiler out there, the Grimlock, to me, I have never had the Fanstoys Grimlock, but this one on Gigapower, which I might bring down later, is tops. I mean, I don't see a better Grimlock, but these two, I'll share my thoughts more toward the end. They jump ahead last section and talk about the feel a little ahead of time, how they felt. I guess I threw that in with the other section. So yeah, this one does feel a little heavier. And as far as, you know, just movements and just to try to get ahead and just go ahead and throw a little mechanics in there as well. I told you I'm unorthodox sometimes. I do see in Dino mode anyway, the ratchets that are on. This one can actually do a headstand. This one can actually do a headstand. Yeah, it can actually do a headstand. I don't know if this guy can do it because he don't have the versatility in his neck that. Oh yeah, but he's got strong ratchets though. Not on the hind legs. He doesn't have strong ratchets on the hind legs, but he does have definitely strong ratchets on the front legs. But I don't think his lower part of his neck is going to get out of the way and keep him up, like that scene in Transformers movie when he just gets flattened by Devastator. But this guy, he has a neck that I think is better than this one, and it feels like, yeah, the hind legs on this one is not ratcheted either. So, of course, we're going to go through all these steps again when I get them transformed up. But same ratchets, same places. I wonder if these are stronger ratchets, I think, than, yeah. These are strong. These are hard ratchets, but these are actually stronger on Gigapowers. And then there's no ratchet on the hind legs because they have to fold into the inner part of the legs more. And the versatility on Fanstoys, to be an older figure, I have to say, and this guy has to kind of show part of a black thing that comes out of his neck and barely turns around on a dime. Until you see that gaping hole right there for him. You see a gaping hole on him when I have to turn his neck. You'd think they would have done better coming some years later. You know, it can't turn without showing a gaping hole. Okay, I guess I jumped ahead of myself, but it can turn. But the versatility on this guy, to me, he's more G1 accurate in the head, and he moves just better to me overall. And like I said, he can go all the way up. This guy can't really go all the way up. He can't go back as far as this sludge. This sludge can look up and fire from above. This guy right here, I can manipulate his head to probably look further up. I'm not doing a very good job. Oh yeah, okay. But you see the gaping hole there. If I bring him down to that, he can't really go up without stretching that neck a piece, you know. But yeah, the versatility is there. Can't say it's not. He's got a little bit shinier chrome. When I look at it, these off the camera, being on camera doesn't probably show through as well, but this is showing better chrome shininess, but it's not much. Of course, overall, this is probably more painted and more decoed. So Yeah, Gigapower did a wonderful job, but there's just a few of these Fanstoys on the Fanstoys side compared to Gigapower that I have to say I have to go with Fanstoys on, and this is this one, and it's also the Stegosaurus Snarl. I'm still waiting for Snarl, and I'll tell you the story real quick before I go to my final segment. Well, after these are transformed up and go over them real quick. I know you guys may know Nate the Toy Guy, and he is in the problems he had problems in the last few years, lost his wife and stuff, and he has always sent me everything he's supposed to send me. So I had the Stegosaurus Snarl to come to me, and I bought him from Nate the Toy Guy. I got this guy from Nate the Toy Guy, but something happened. A lot of complaints. He got overwhelmed maybe, and he just stopped sending things out. I'm $650 in the hole with Nate the Toy Guy, and I still have not received anything, and it's a year overdue. So it's going on a year overdue. It's just it's sad that he could not just. I mean, I had talked to him, I emailed him. I was real nice. I mean, I was really understanding about his issue with his wife, and I said, hey, I know things change. Your toy store is having trouble, but if you have my Insecticons from Fanstoys in stock, paid $400 for them. I said, just send them and just give me a refund on the Snarl. And I maybe got in contact with him 2 or 3 times, and he said, yeah, right away, and never got him. So I'll end this section with this. The next will be just a transformation and final thoughts on the look and feel when they're in robot mode.
Tell her don't waste my time. Police wanna stop me, search my clothes. Word. Tell them don't waste my time. If it ain't money, I ain't involved. No.
Okay, I'm back with these bad boys. Just got them transformed up. Didn't take so long, really, when I got into it. I like these figures a lot, and their transformations are classic. They're not nothing new in the masterpiece realm. Some pictures of my transformation. When I look at both of these right now, I'll put some pictures up, and I'm gonna talk about certain points here, but. This is old stuff. I'm going over points that I noticed, things that I like. I just found a reason to talk about with both of these, and I'll be cross-checking them as always. They're not different. They're not too much different in height. The Gigapower is taller, probably a good head taller. That's it. But I think of all the Gigapower Dinobots, if I reach up and grab Grimlock real quick, I just grab Grimlock down. Let me raise my stand up. Grimlock is just a head taller than, half a head taller than him, about a good head and a half taller than him. To tell the truth, and that really equals out, just as I said it, because this is a good 3/4, half a head taller. This is taller than this by like 3/4, half a head. So this one right here, I love it because I'm tempted to sell this one, and we'll talk about those points later. But this is really, it lines up with the gigs real well. I got dust all over just sitting up on top of the shelf, and Grimlock is the best Grimlock I've ever seen. I don't want to get into him. I got another Gigapower one sitting behind him. I'm using my animations, and that there's nothing better to me than that one. Nothing. Nothing comes close. But we won't even get into that. But yeah, back to Scoria. Let me bring my stand back down a little bit. I have some good points and some bad and some talking points. I want to talk about these two real quick. But I didn't even put a sticker on him yet because I haven't transformed him since this is a reissue. This is the most recent reissue of him. So there were some changes. I can't remember what the specifics of that is. I don't know if it's something to do with the head fold out. I doubt it. But there was a specific change. But I'm going to talk about some points that I do like comparatively to this one. But first, look and feel before we get to the mechanics, because most of the points I'm going to talk about are mechanics. But look-wise, this guy's a more G1 accurate one. The Fanstoys. All the way around. How can Fanstoys make something that's years and years old and still compete so well with most of the stuff coming out? The legs spread across, as far as looks is concerned, the legs are wider stance, spread out better. This a little thicker legs, thicker abs on Gigapower. This doesn't tuck in so well as far as looks, and that's partly mechanics as well. That I want to. There's some talking points there. This guy was a brilliant. I knew when I first saw it 4 or 5 years ago, I wanted it, I couldn't get it. This was a great stand-in, and I thought, hey, you know, I'm not gonna worry about it no more. But no, this one never got in my mind, and neither does his buddy Snarl on the Fanstoys side. Those are gonna be the two ones. And like I said, I'm gonna get to the points later about maybe. I know this one may be my final replacement for this one if I decide to get rid of him, and I'll tell you why. Oh, don't mean to make anybody mad. And the other one that I had a Gigapower, but I didn't have the Chrome version like all my other Gigapower ones. I have all of them. I usually have all of them, but this one, the one that broke, was not a Chrome version. It was the older. It was a known issue with the legs. I'm gonna have no picks on that. But the one that I'm talking about is the one. Oh, what is it? It's the it's a Snarl. It's a Snarl one. Not these three. None of these three. Not Swoop. I have Swoop from Gigapower way up on my chest up there by Prime. He's sitting up there by Prime. But no, it's with these right here. The broken leg came from Snarl, and you know, Snarl's a Stegosaurus or whatever you call it. And I was gonna replace him with Gigapower, but then the one, just like this one. So he looks so good from Fanstoys, even after these years. I'm just going to get him from Fanstoys whenever it comes around. And I mentioned earlier in my video, Toy Guy was supposed to send me one, and I mean Nate the Toy Guy, but it didn't work out as I already told the story. Some of you guys probably already know that story as well. So let me get off this one. It's a long segment. The feel, I'll talk about the feel and the mechanics in the next one. Okay, so we're back to the final sections I'm combining into one, of course, with the robot mode versions of these. The feel and the mechanics. And even in bot mode, as I mentioned for them when they were in the transform mode, that even with that, they were, I thought that Stomp was a little heavier than Gigapower. And it was very hard to tell. It's very much of a tie. I thought he was a little bit heavier. But I still see it about the same. Standing up, they feel about the same. It's hard to really tell. The mechanics on these are virtually the same as far as rotation, where the ratchets are, you know, where they exist. They are virtually, as far as build quality is concerned, I don't see a lot of discrepancies there. I think more ingenuity still went into the Fanstoys one. And those are the points that I wanted to talk about as far as mechanics. I wasn't gonna get into you've seen all these videos from these have been around for years. I'm not telling you anybody here anything really new. But there's some genius parts here that I had to still give a little bit, even though Gigapower holds its own fine. And even to start that point off with, when I look at this guy behind him, this Gigapower version of the rhinoceros. And I say that when I forget the name, the first name of this was Slag. Is that, first of all, I think they could have done better. The mouth just drapes open, up and down, and the legs don't, if you look at the legs on this one, splitting up on a flat surface on my smooth table, it just will not, it just gives way. It just gives way easier. That's not to say that's the point with all of them. That's just something I noticed with him. But I feel like in the long run, as far as build quality, even though the materials feel good on the Gigapower ones. I feel like the build and materials is a bit superior when it comes to the Fanstoys. When, of course, that proves even to recent today. You know, that on that point, the way the ingenuity of the mechanics, the way this goes in compared, the tail folds into the leg compared to how the tail folds into this one. There's a little bit of a stretch here with the tail to bring it back around to the other side and push it into here. The ingenuity here, and this is just examples of ingenuity, nothing better for worse than any other ones. I think this one pieces together better once the tail goes in. This one actually has what I don't see on the Fanstoys ones, it actually has an inner connection hook piece right here that folds down and connects to the other side, to the inside of this to keep the pieces together. And it does the same thing when it transforms into the robot mode. This piece too as well with the Graviter, it looks like he never can stand straight. This guy here, I can stand him up. He feels like he stands a lot straighter. Maybe not perfectly straight, but at least he looks like he can hold or fake it a straight pose. I can never get Graviter standing straight. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. He looks like he's leaning. Now, don't get mistaken right now, because I have the legs positioned in a way that makes him look like that. When his body just totally erect, and I have him in the straightest pose I can get him, he looks like he's leaning. You have to do some manipulation here to make him seem like he's standing up straight. On top of everything else, getting back to the looks, sneaking back into the looks, I think the head sculpt on him is better. And I'm bringing out reasons why, and no particular pattern or disdain, no disdain here at all, of why I'm more to him for this particular bot than Gigapowers. And as I said, the Grimlock here on Gigapower, there's no king but that one to me right now. But when it comes to Stomp, when it comes to the Stegosaurus Snarl for Fanstoys, I have to say these guys are outstanding. Even the wings fold up here. And like I was mentioning earlier, how this head ducks down inside of, just goes into a compartment there that it just makes it look so good, so neat. Gigapowers is thick. I mean, it makes some room for it. It's just there. It's just in the way. It didn't make any, maybe because they knew, hey, we can't become too much like Fanstoys. I don't know how to get it more into that compartment. Maybe that's the mistake I'm making. Maybe I'm just something I'm doing wrong that can't get it into that compartment. But for right now, it's a no-go. I can't get it in there. Maybe someone can put a comment down and say, okay, this is what you need to do that. I would be more than welcome to listen and try it. But right now, it's just not. He leans back. He can't stand up straight to me. Beautiful bot. But he just doesn't do it to me. As the materials here, outstanding for a 5 or 6 year old bot. So this has been a long segment. Let me stop and give just some final thoughts. I don't know how many pics I was able to put up about these. I'll just try to get some points of reference here, just different Autobot or Decepticons, just to give you a frame of how big and tall these were. But my final point is really with these two Sludges is I feel like Fanstoys is the better one and it's not really I really didn't mean this to be a challenge or a comparison or a competition. I really wanted to just bring out some points that I saw with them concerning transformation, concerning old versus newer. But right now, there were so many things Fanstoys did right. I could care less about the fact that this looks more shinier or a little more paintier here. This is definitely paint. This is definitely probably more plastic base. But this one, I would say that one was great for those that like the newer design, the newer updated look for this Dinobot character. But this guy, G1, it seemed like it's chromed out, it's painted, it's chromed in the right places at the right time. It just looks perfect and it feels tops to me. So yeah, I got a little table full of barely any room on my table anymore, but these guys are big. So yeah, just a comparison, just a review, just about the two ones I have. I have to make up my mind what to do, but he's not going anywhere. That's for sure. Even the leg extends on this one where you have to push it up when you get back to robot mode, where this one is tall. It doesn't need extension. This one extension because of transformation. But just so many points here that makes the transformation just so much more fabulous compared to this guy. So Sludge, the mighty Sludge, we come to the end. The only comparison I ever do on this character, hopefully, I don't think they'll probably make a new one. So if they do, I'm not getting it. We need new characters, not the same ones made over and over again. You guys be blessed. Have a good week. Take care.
Tell him don't waste my time. Tell him don't waste my time. Tell him don't waste my time. No. Tell him don't waste my time. 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 No.